time for the beaver. Why do beavers build dams? What's the point of all this work? You know, busy as beaver?
Fishing.
Nope, they don't fish. They're vegetarian. They would and they eat algae and things.
Fishing, I mean.
Well, it is good for us, absolutely. But that's not why they're building a dam. That's a side benefit. Why do they build a dam?
Keep the level of water up.
Yeah, to keep the level of water up. They want to create a pond that does two things. One is by having a deep pond, it doesn't freeze in the wintertime solid. That's very interesting for them. And it floods the area, bringing the water out into more of the forest so they can access more trees for food and for building shelters and whatnot. The beaver, let's take a look at their homes. This is really remarkable. Okay, so a beaver lodge or home looks like this. Big pile of sticks. And in the fall, they winterize their house, just like we used to put up our storm windows and things like that. What they will do is they will reinforce their pile of sticks with mud. They'll dredge it up from the pond. They'll pack it onto the sticks, let the mud drip down in between the sticks. And that freezes solid in the winter, so it makes it a nice, sturdy shelter. But they always leave a little bit of an air hole up on the top. Okay? And anyway, so that's going to be their home. And let's take a close look at the inside of their home. It's actually a two-story house. You can think of it as a house with a loft. Okay, if any of you are from Colorado or other cold climates, you know the value of having a mudroom, right? We love our mudrooms. They're not clean, they're not pretty, but we like to have them. Beavers have a mudroom too. So they swim up from the pond and they've got several entrances and exits, and they come up to the mudroom, which is this lower pile of sticks. That's where they shake up all the water, mud, etc. And then they climb up to what's elevated above the water. We'll call that the loft. And the loft is a nice warm place to be. They've got their version of shag carpeting up there. They take the wood chips from chopping down the trees and they line that area, living space with wood chips, which means again the water will continue to drip off their fur and down to the mud room, keeps it nice and dry and snug. In the winter is when these guys are mating, and then about now the young kits is what they're called are going to be born. So let's take a look at how the beavers survive other than we know they've got food. Can you imagine living in a frozen pond, semi-frozen pond all winter? You're up above, but you have to come down. Every time you want something to eat, you got to go into that cold, cold water. So how do beavers do that? They got a lot of body fat to start with. Fat is a good thing, but they've got the fur of furs for cold weather. Okay, I want everybody to take your thumb. Take your hat off. I'm doing it. Stick it on the head. Yeah, well, don't we look ridiculous? Okay. Scientists have done a study. They counted how many hairs were on the human head, the average human head, because we're going to vary here, for the average adult thumbprint. And what do you think they came up with? How many hairs? A lot. Yeah, well, what's a lot to you? A lot. Anybody want to give her a number? A bajillion? You think? On a human head. 150? Okay, that's a good guess. Scientists came up with an average of 300 hairs under the average adult thumbprint on the average adult human hair. Okay? Then scientists did the same thing, same adult thumbprint, and they stuck it on the belly of the beaver, where the water's coldest. How many hairs? How many? 1,000? 3,000? 10,000? How about 23,000? We're talking dense. So when this comes around to you, take a look. You've got two furs again. You've got the outer guard hairs that, again, if we clipped off, put under a microscope, it'd be honeycombed inside, lots of data aerospace to insulate. And then the belly fur is really thick, but you can see it here where it's been removed from a lot of folks like you petting